Hi, good to be with you again today
Yes,
for our daily reflection.
that's right, from the YouVersion Bible app, verse of the day. Today it's John chapter 1, verse 5. You preached on this yesterday, Stephen. Well, part of this passage.
Yes, I did.
The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it.
Yeah,
Or another translation, the darkness has not understood it.
yeah. Different ways of looking at the Greek.
Light shining in the darkness.
Yep, yep.
And at Hobart Baptist, we've just celebrated Christmas in winter. And
exactly.
it was for this very purpose, the light shining in the darkness.
Yeah.
At this time of year when it's so dark and dull and dingy,
Yeah.
it's a good time to be thinking about coming into the
Although
light.
yesterday was a very nice day. So.
It was a beautiful day.
But the whole Christmas celebration is centred around winter. You know, there's probably the good guess is that Jesus was born probably late March, late September, in the middle of summer in the northern
Yes, a
hemisphere.
summer thing, really.
Because the shepherds wouldn't be out in their fields in the middle of winter when there's snow, because all the animals would be inside.
in the stables.
Yeah, exactly. So December the 25th is most likely not the time Jesus was born, but it was changed to that date by the early church, maybe about 300 AD, something like that, to celebrate light coming into the world, exactly as John describes it here, into the darkness, and then the anticipation of spring coming, of the world starting to warm up, starting to get lighter, and saying, really, that's what Jesus does to us spiritually, and actually to the world as well.
Because when you think about it, winter solstice in the northern hemisphere is very close to Christmas Day. It's around that time, and maybe back in 300 AD, 25th of December. We'll have to look into that. But it is the shortest day around this time of the shortest day. So it's starting to come back into the longer days, and what a good reason to celebrate when you've been in the dark for a long time.
And for us here in Tassie, which is the southernmost capital in Australia, and probably
Possibly in the world.
Well, not probably, just probably in South America and stuff. Maybe
I don't know that there'd be a capital city.
Yeah, I don't know, but anyhow, pretty south. I don't know. What about New Zealand?
Yeah, Auckland will be further north.
Yeah, but is Auckland? That's not the capital.
Wellington, they're still close. They're still further north than us. I still reckon we're further south.
But anyhow, winter's a great time for, I think, to celebrate Christmas, and that's what we did today. Celebrate light coming into the darkness, and I love the second half of this. The darkness has not overcome it. There is something about light. When you mix light with dark, light always wins. It's just sort of the very nature of what light is and what darkness is. And so often as Christians, we fear the darkness. And basically Jesus is saying there's no need to fear darkness, and he actually lived without fear of darkness, even fear of death, because
as soon as light's there, it's not dark anymore, which is pretty cool.
It is. So it's a very powerful metaphor to help us to understand God and what he does in our lives. That light always overcomes darkness, and so God's hope overcomes fear. There's lots of different ways in which this plays out. So it's a great verse, and John puts it in the context here of his great introduction about who was this person, Jesus, that was born as a human being. And he's basically saying, well, actually, it's the word that was always there. It's the life that was always there, becoming a human being into the world. So it's a pretty profound sort of introduction, of which this just forms a small part.
Yeah, that's right. And it's interesting, isn't it, that very start of John 1:1, it says, in the beginning was the word, and it rings of Genesis 1, doesn't it?
It does.
In the beginning. And it's like John's rewriting a new beginning, isn't it? It's the beginning of the new way of looking at things, and a different perspective, which is really quite enlightening.
Yep, and written not quite 2,000 years ago, and it's still turning the world upside down. Followers around the world, people are coming to know Jesus, and even though we in Australia, and particularly Hobart, live in that small percentage of people in the world, about 15% of people who have no religion, because 40% of Hobartians have none. The reality is most of the world believes that there is a higher power or God or something in some shape or form, and so therefore it's still profound to think that God, the Creator, became a human being and lived amongst us. That's the profound thing about this. And when he did live amongst us, then darkness had to flee. It exposed the reality of what life is all about. Very profound statement.
Yeah, and always true, isn't it? Whether you're reading a good book or watching a movie, in a good movie, the good people always win.
That's what you want. That's what you want.
And that's because it's within us. It's within us for good to overcome evil. It's just the way we are. We're wired that way. Catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.